All right, let's jump right in. Most of us assume that getting rich is, all about being some kind of math genius or a stock market whiz. But what if I told you that doing well with money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are and everything, literally everything, to do with how you act? To really see what I mean, let me tell you about two guys. On one hand, you have this brilliant tech executive. I mean, this guy literally invented parts of the Wi-Fi tech we all use. He made millions, walked around with wads of cash, and get this, he once threw gold coins into the ocean just for fun. Today, he's completely broke. Now, on the other hand, meet Ronald Reed, a super humble janitor, cleaned floors his whole life, earned minimum wage. When he passed away, he left behind an $8 million fortune. So wait, a tech genius ends up broke while a janitor becomes a multi-millionaire? How in the world is that even possible? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, and it's the whole point of this explainer. Doing well with money isn't a hard science like physics, where the smartest person in the room always wins. Nope, it's a soft skill. It's all about your psychology, your emotions, your habits. It's one of the only fields where a regular person with zero formal training can totally crush a PhD just because they've got a handle on their own behavior. Okay, so if our behavior is really the key, then we have to ask, what are the biggest mental traps that trip us up? Let's dive into these wealth traps of the mind. So the first big trap is something called the Ferrari fallacy. You know what I'm talking about. We buy the flashy car, the expensive watch. Why? Because we want people to look at us and think, wow, they're smart, they're successful, they're important. But here's the crazy plot twist. When you see someone driving a Ferrari, you probably don't think, wow, that driver is so cool. No way. You think, man, if I had that car, people would think I'm so cool. See, the driver becomes totally invisible. We just use their fancy stuff to imagine our own life being better. So that leads to a huge point. If that shiny stuff isn't real wealth, then what is? Well, real wealth is what you don't see. It's the money that's quietly sitting in an investment account. It's the expensive car you decided not to buy, the fancy upgrade you said no to. That invisible money is what gives you real freedom and options in life. And that's the difference right there. Looking rich is loud. It's the $100,000 car with a crippling monthly payment. But being rich, that's quiet. That's the $2 million in an index fund that no one even knows about, but it's what gives you the power to quit a job you hate or to handle a crisis without even blinking. The next big mental trap is greed. It's just never knowing when to stop when you have enough. And the story of Rajat Gupta is a perfect and tragic example. This guy grew up in poverty, climbed all the way to the top to become CEO of a massively prestigious company. He had $100 million. I mean, think about that. Enough money for generations of his family. But for him, it wasn't enough. He wanted to be a billionaire. So he started insider trading, risking everything he had, everything he needed, for something he absolutely did not need. And you know how the story ends? He got caught, reputation shattered, and thrown in prison. All right, so we've talked about the traps. Now let's flip the script and look at a new set of rules for actually succeeding with money. And these rules are all about behavior, not complicated spreadsheets. Everyone talks about Warren Buffett being this genius investor, right? A master stock picker. But what if his real secret weapon wasn't his brain, but his age? The true magic behind his staggering wealth isn't just skill, it's time. The guy started investing when he was just 10 years old. And here's the stat that will blow your mind. Of his, $84 billion net worth, a staggering $81.5 billion of it was earned after he turned 65. That's not because he suddenly got better at investing, it's because the small amounts of money that he invested as a kid had decades to compound. It's like he planted a tiny seed that, over a lifetime, grew into a forest of giant redwoods. Time, not timing, is the most powerful force in investing. Now, here's a really interesting paradox. The mindset you need to get money is often the complete opposite of what you need to keep it. Getting rich, that's about optimism, taking risks, going for it. But staying rich, that's about humility. It's about being a little bit paranoid and understanding that it can all disappear in a flash. The number one goal becomes survival. You just have to stay in the game long enough for that compounding magic to really kick in. So what does this new rulebook look like? It's simple. First, worry less about your income or investment returns and worry more about your savings rate. That's the number you can actually control. Second, be reasonable, not rational. A mathematically perfect plan is worthless if you ditch it the second the market gets scary. The best plan is the one you can actually stick with. And third, learn to see market downturns differently. They aren't a penalty for making a mistake. They're the price of admission. It's the fee you have to pay to get the long-term returns. And that brings us to the final, and honestly, the most important piece of the puzzle. After all this talk about saving and investing, what is money really for? What's the ultimate payoff? It's not the fancy car. It's not the bigger house. The absolute highest dividend that money can pay you is control over your time. It's the simple, incredible ability to wake up one morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. That is true wealth. That is real financial freedom. So really, every dollar you earn comes with a choice. You can use it to buy status, things meant to impress other people, or you can use it to buy your own freedom. Every single dollar you save is another little piece of your future life that you, and only you, get to control. So the question is, which one of those are you building? So let's tie this all together. What are the big takeaways? Number 1, financial success is a soft skill. It's about behavior. Number 2, stop trying to look rich and start focusing on being rich. That means owning assets, not just spending money. 3, time is your greatest ally, way more powerful than raw talent. And finally, the whole point of this is to use your money to buy control over your own life. And so that leaves us with one last really important question you need to ask yourself. Take a hard look at your money. Is it buying you things or is it buying you freedom?